It's such an honor to have you.
Well, I mean, talk about someone who's broke down barriers.
Wow.
I mean, that's you. Yeah.
Well, you paved the
So
way.
inspiring.
Thank you. You are so inspiring. You paved the way for so many. Like becoming a sports journalist, this is awesome. You blazed the trails for so many. So
yeah, I'm an OG, I guess, right? I mean,
how does that feel?
I've been around a while. I got into it because my dad was in sports, so he was in like management, right, and business. So when kind of cool, right? So when it wasn't a school night, there's my dad. I lost him a few years ago.
Sorry
that's Big Mike. I love him so much. Wasn't expecting that. But when it wasn't a school night, he would take us to games. We would get to go to games. So I would go and just be around basketball.
Yes.
And just see all the glamorous, women there and the players and everybody was having so much fun. And I always associated sports with a great time. So when I went to college, Notre Dame, don't hate me. I know, Pete, it's polarizing, I know, but what can I say? That's where I went, because my dad went there. And I was a big ham, and, I wanted to go into broadcasting, and I just knew that sports was so much fun.
Yeah.
A lot more fun than, like, city council meetings and things like that. So
you followed your passion.
The only problem was there were no women doing it at the time. So I really wanted to follow my dream, but it was really difficult.
Wow, but you did it.
Yeah, I mean, I had people say...
That's brave to be able to do that when there were no other women in that space.
Especially when people are saying things to you like, I'll hire a woman over my dead body, my sports director doesn't want to work with a woman, my audience won't accept a woman. I had so many people say things like that, but you know what that does? That just makes you more determined.
Make you more determined and push through. Tell us this, how did you get the nickname Storm?
Oh my gosh. So remember I told you that I couldn't get a job as a sportscaster at first, how hard it was? So my dad said there's more radio stations on the planet than television stations. So I was spinning records, in college.
Oh.
So I was like, well, maybe I'll just send out a few tapes of that. So my first job, I was a heavy metal DJ.
Look at that.
Yes, I got hired to spin records. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
10 at night to 2 in the morning. It was.
So you were really determined that said, listen, if I got to go this route, I will.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my station was in the middle of nowhere. Like, when it went down, I had to crank it up by hand. I had to, move the cows away from the gate to, drive into the station. It was crazy. But I got my name, Hannah Storm. It was like storm by the sea. The storm is coming in. And it was my DJ name. And it stuck.
It stuck.
People are like, you should do the weather. I'm like, yeah, I've heard that joke before. We're good.
I'm here to do bigger things, that's for sure. And then,
exactly.
I'm a big fan, and you're a big fan of the NBA. I love the NBA.
I was the first play-by-play person to do the WNBA, and that was 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Just to see it grow the way it has. By the way, I got an ulcer that first season doing it. Yeah, I was so nervous. But we got to put ourselves out there and do things, and that's what the Women's Basketball League does. They put themselves out there for all of us to share and revel in their accomplishments. And if you want a lesson in perseverance, I took the New York Liberty all those times. I mean, a quarter of a century to win a title.
And they did it.
They finally
And they will continue to do it.
They finally did it. So I hope the NBA season is half as interesting as the WNBA.
Yes.
When I was starting out, Michael Jordan really set the tone for all the other players. And my first full-time job as a sportscaster was in Charlotte, and he came down for a big game, and I was so nervous, going in the locker room and getting interviews and stuff, really uncomfortable. I went in there, and he was like, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. So nice, so polite, so, and I was 23 and he's calling me ma'am. I'm like, okay, well, you have some really good manners.
Yeah.
And, everybody kind of followed. He was so respectful and kind, and everybody followed his example. Isn't that cool?
Yes, and then you get to have all of that insight. It's amazing.
I know, I love him to this day. Yeah, I just saw him at Hall of Fame. He's super cool. And, he should want to be on your show. You should be begging to be.
Let her sit. Come on, Michael Jordan. You want to sit on this couch?
Okay, let's go. Let's
but
do
right
this
now,
thing.
I got you, Hannah. Listen, and we are so grateful to have you here. Talk to us. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh yeah, got the pink on.
You got your pink on, and you look lovely.
Well, so do you. So I was diagnosed. Now, I've been having mammograms for like 20 years,
Yes.
right? I have no family history. I had no lumps. I had no pain. I have no genetic predisposition. Did you know 80 to 90% of women who are diagnosed with breast cancer, it's the same thing. They have no risk factors. So I had no idea of any of this. And I also have something called, we're talking breasts right here, right? Are we talking
Yes.
boobs? Okay. Dense breasts, which 40 to 50% of women have. So you not only have to have a mammogram, now by law they have to tell you whether or not you have dense breasts because you also have to have an ultrasound. And that is how I found out that I had the earliest form of breast cancer. Yeah, which is called ductal carcinoma in situ, DCIS. The survival rates are 98 to 99% if you can catch this.
You listening?
So it's hard to talk about stuff like
Yes.
this, you know what I mean? Because it's personal. But I also feel like talking about it around men, because I have a largely male audience doing
Right.
sports. I mean, we literally talked about this on SportsCenter. Can you imagine?
Right.
But I feel like it really does take a village because us women, we're so used to taking care of everybody else.
That is true.
Like, I know y'all are taking care of your kids, of your parents, of your neighbor, of your siblings,
Everyone.
you know, of everyone. And the last person that you take care of is yourself.
It's ourselves.
I mean, you're a working mom. You know
Yes,
how this
ma'am.
is. You know what I mean? You don't want to schedule something unpleasant, okay? But it literally can save your life. And you will not know if you have it unless you are screened for it and catch it. You want to catch it early while you can still be cured.
Yes.
So I'm cancer-free.
Come on.
I know. One single person sitting in this audience schedules their mammogram, it'll be worth it.
It'll
be worth
be
talking
worth
about
it.
this.
Take it from Hannah.
Yeah.